Hello and welcome. Welcome to Learnings with Brenda Bentley. I am Brenda Bentley, and today I'd like to talk to you about the importance of having a LinkedIn profile. Now, you might be wondering, why, Brenda, do I need to have a LinkedIn profile? I'm already on so many other platforms and so many groups. And these are really great questions. And so I'd like to hop right in and show you the importance of why it is so important to have a LinkedIn profile. So without further ado, I'd like to share my screen with you and let's get started. So in today's market, it is very important to both have a LinkedIn profile as well as your resume. And you want these two things to complement one another, not copy each other. It's so important that they align and relay similar messages so that you're telling your story, but you're telling it in a different way than how it's outlined in your resume. Did you know that LinkedIn is actually the #1 recruiting tool used by employers, recruiters, and candidates and job seekers just like you? It right now today is the world's largest professional network. And it's important to have both a resume and a LinkedIn profile that complement one another. This is where you could start promoting your brand and building what I like to call your value proposition, which is basically your promise to deliver what you can offer. So what are you promising to deliver to your targeted audience? You want to be very clear on your target audience and inform them through your brand. Also, this is really a great place where you can seek informational interviews and actually line yourself up and get aligned to get the targeted interviews that you are seeking. Did you know that it just takes 7 seconds to make your first impression? And nowadays, that first impression is actually made online. So it's important to make a good one. More and more people are promoting their brand on LinkedIn through storytelling. Why? Because research shows that people actually retain more information through stories. We actually can remember the facts that are woven into the stories 22 more times than facts alone. The key is to make your story on social media one that's purposeful and what I call contain the 4 C's. You definitely want to capture their interest. You want to connect both emotionally and professionally. You definitely want to convey your value and one that compels action. So before you actually start creating your LinkedIn profile, it might be a good idea to go ahead and take a look at other professionals and take a look at their LinkedIn profiles so you can see what's out there. And whether you're starting from scratch or you're editing your existing profile, I like to encourage you to go into your privacy settings and make sure you turn off share edits until you're completely done. If you don't, every time you make a little minor change, it will be seen by everyone. So why not just shut off that, turn it off until you're completely done. And then when your profile is complete, you can turn back on share the edits. Also, once your profile is complete, you're going to turn back the settings so that you can share your profile with the world so that everyone can actually see your finished product. Also, this is an excellent place to network, building relationships with every single person that you meet. And you're going to do that by differentiating yourself through your brand. So, I have created for you some very easy steps on how to create a LinkedIn profile. If this is your very first time and you're starting from scratch, then you want to go into www.linkedin.com and click the Join Now button. Also, if you're in there and you're learning how to update your profile, you're going to go in and you can simply edit. But first, if you're starting from scratch, you want to make sure that you're using a professional email address. Recruiters and employers will be looking at your entire profile, so you want to make it professional and stand out. You don't want to have an email address that says hankypanky.com, but rather your name or a very professional email title. You're also going to create a password and select Join Now. Before you can go any further, email or LinkedIn will send you an email to confirm that is your email address. Now, generally, they're going to ask if you're a student or a job seeker, and I would recommend, even if you are a student, to go ahead and select job seeker, because ultimately your goal is to find a job. So you're going to create your profile, and to do so, you're going to use the little edit pencil to add sections as well as to edit those sections. And you want to make sure you complete your profile completely before you start applying for jobs. So I've broken it down into 10 easy steps to set up your profile. Let's take a look at those right now. First of all, once you've created or have logged in, you're going to start with your name. Now, make sure that your name is consistent with your resume and other social media. If you're using a different name, you want to be sure to put your former name in parentheses or brackets so that people can make that connection and know that it's you. Also, you want to have a very professional looking headshot, generally facing forward, but that's completely up to you. Make sure you have a nice, clean, clear background, and make sure you're professionally dressed. You can begin to brand yourself right here. First of all, you can start branding yourself through your background banner. So you can put the city where you're located. You could put something that has to do with the industry that you work in. You can put some keywords up there or a beautiful photo, anything that you think represents who you are. This is one of the first steps you're going to use in branding. The next place where you're going to continue to brand is in the headline. You have up to 220 characters to create this brand. Now, a lot of times people like to simply put their job title or skills, but nowadays, more and more people are branding themselves by using keywords, unique qualities. So basically in your headline, you want to think about what makes you unique. What value do you promise to deliver? This is why it's so key to know your audience so that you can address their needs. You want to make sure this is where you're going to begin to sell yourself. So remember, be clear, be concise, make an impact. Now, the about summary is where you get to tell your story. This is where you want to create a relevant story. You want to tell a story that answers the following questions. What have you done? How did you do it? Can you prove it? And can you do it again? So you might want to develop your story by explaining how you solved a problem, or you initiated a change, or you made a difference, or you took a risk and managed a project. All of these, you can tell the story using the first person I, which is different than on the resume where it's all in the third person. Once you start weaving your story, you can tell the rest of your story in your experience section. Now, some people go into their resume and they simply cut and paste and put their experience down in LinkedIn. Or this is where you can weave together your facts and your figures, and you can actually tell a story in this section. You want to balance your story with data, credentials, facts that compel action. So you want to connect your background and your career history to your current or future career. Weave all of your achievements into your story while reinforcing your brand. You can also attach video, data, and projects in this section. Once you've completed your experience and education section, you will get to a section called skills and endorsements. It's very important that you make sure that your top 3 skills are ones that are in direct alignment with your brand. This is where other people will start beginning to endorse you. So before you know it, you'll have a laundry list of skills and endorsements. The next section is key. It's called recommendations, and it's so very important to ask for these. This is where other people are going to validate what you can say and validate that what you say is true. And this is a section that employers and recruiters are going to take a look at. So all you have to do once you're in the recommendation section is hit ask for recommendations, and you ask it to be colleagues, professionals, people that have worked with you, and make sure you ask for them. Once you receive that recommendation in, you have the opportunity to review it and edit it. Well, actually, you would ask them for edits if you notice a typo or there's something that you would like to have clarified. But it's very important that you do ask for these recommendations and in return, be willing to offer recommendations to your colleagues. And then finally, there is a place where you can talk about your interests. You have to be able to let them know what you're interested in, groups maybe that you follow on LinkedIn that directly tie into your story. The whole key to your LinkedIn profile is that people get to know you, they like you, and they trust you. And that, with that, friends, you have your LinkedIn profile. So it's very easy to get started. I invite you, if you have any questions, please reach out and let me know what questions you might have. If you're ready to give it a try, go ahead and log in and have fun. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me at brenda@brendabentleycoaching.com. Or if you'd like an appointment, you can schedule one with me today. And if you'd like to take a look at my LinkedIn profile, I invite you to do so at www.linkedin.com/Brenda Bentley Coaching. It's a pleasure to meet you here, and I invite you to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll see you soon. Thanks for listening. Ciao.